Many people want something new in their lives, but they are still holding tightly to old thoughts, old fears, and old conclusions. They ask for growth while clinging to comfort. They ask for change while protecting their ego. This is why nothing seems to arrive. When your mind is already full, there is no space left for anything new to enter. Life does not pour into a closed container, and neither does God. Fear is often the first thing filling the cup. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of losing what little we already have. These fears speak very loudly, and over time, we start believing they are facts. We say things like, "This is just how I am," or "This is as far as I can go." But fear is not wisdom. Fear is simply a memory of pain trying to control the future. As long as fear occupies your mind, it leaves no room for faith, creativity, or courage to grow. Ego fills the cup just as quickly. Ego convinces us that we already know enough, that we don't need help, that listening is weakness. It makes us reject advice, ignore lessons, and resist correction. The moment you believe you are complete, you stop growing. The truth is, growth only comes to those who are willing to look foolish, to ask questions, and to admit that they don't have all the answers yet. Old beliefs are the heaviest weight of all. These are ideas formed from past failures, other people's opinions, and experiences that no longer define who you are today. They sit quietly in the background, shaping decisions without permission. You may be asking for a new future, but you are using an old mindset to reach it. That mismatch blocks everything. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking less about protecting yourself. It is the courage to say, "I am open." When you release fear, loosen ego, and question old beliefs, your cup becomes empty again. And an empty cup is not a weakness. It is an invitation. Most people are trained to trust only what they can see. From a young age, they are told to wait for proof, results, guarantees. This way of thinking works for ordinary transactions, but it quietly limits extraordinary outcomes. The moment you demand evidence before belief, you surrender your power to circumstances. You become reactive instead of intentional. Receiving from God requires a different posture, one that moves before certainty arrives. Belief is not pretending everything is fine or ignoring reality. It is choosing a direction even when the road is unclear. Every meaningful achievement in life begins as an invisible idea. Before a building exists, it lives in the imagination. Before success appears, it exists as confidence. Before a door opens, someone must walk toward a wall believing it can open. If you wait until everything makes sense, you will always arrive late. Many people unknowingly block what they asked for because they don't believe they deserve it. They pray for opportunity but expect disappointment. They ask for growth but secretly assume failure. This inner contradiction sends mixed signals. You cannot receive something you are internally rejecting. Belief aligns your inner world with your request. It tells life and God that you are ready to carry what you asked for. Faith also changes how you interpret challenges. Without belief, obstacles look like rejection. With belief, they look like preparation. The same situation can either discourage you or strengthen you, depending on what you believe is happening behind the scenes. When you believe before you see, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" Belief requires patience because results rarely arrive on your schedule. Silence does not mean absence. Delay does not mean denial. Many people quit too early because they mistake quiet seasons for failure. But roots grow in silence before trees rise in public. When you continue to believe without visible proof, you develop resilience, clarity, and inner stability. What you believe consistently becomes what you experience eventually. Your actions follow your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. When belief comes first, behavior changes naturally. You begin to act as someone who is already on the way, not someone waiting to be rescued. That shift alone changes what you attract and what you are able to recognize when it arrives. Preparation is often misunderstood. Many people think preparation is pressure or stress or trying to control the future. In reality, preparation is a quiet form of faith. It is the discipline of behaving as though what you asked for is possible, even before it appears. When you prepare, you are not forcing an outcome, you are creating capacity. Opportunity rarely announces itself with noise. It often arrives disguised as responsibility, learning, or inconvenience. If you are not prepared, you will overlook it or feel overwhelmed by it. People say they are waiting for the right moment, but the right moment is usually waiting for the right person. Preparation is what turns a moment into a breakthrough. Many people pray for growth, but avoid the habits that growth requires. They ask for success, but are not willing to organize their time, sharpen their skills, or strengthen their character. Preparation bridges the gap between desire and readiness. It is the evidence that your request is serious. Without preparation, even a blessing can feel like a burden. Being prepared also changes how you respond when opportunity finally appears. Instead of panic, there is calm. Instead of doubt, there is clarity. Instead of hesitation, there is action. This confidence does not come from arrogance. It comes from repetition, learning, and self-discipline built long before the opportunity arrived. Preparation requires consistency, not intensity. Small actions done daily create strength that sudden effort never can. Reading, practicing, listening, improving, these are quiet acts, often unseen, but they accumulate power over time. While others wait, prepared people grow. Sometimes the delay you experience is not about timing, but alignment. What you are asking for may demand a stronger mindset, deeper patience, or greater responsibility. Preparation shapes you into the person who can receive without being crushed by what arrives. When you prepare, you shift from hoping for change to expecting it. You stop asking life to adjust to you and begin adjusting yourself to life. That readiness becomes a signal. And when the moment comes, it will not feel like luck. It will feel like recognition. Many people treat gratitude as something optional, something you do after everything works out. They wait for results before they say thank you. But gratitude is not a reward for success. It is a condition for growth. When gratitude is absent, the mind becomes fixed on what is lacking. And that sense of lack quietly shapes every thought and decision. Complaining may feel like honesty, but over time it trains the mind to search for problems instead of possibilities. When you focus constantly on what is wrong, you become blind to what is working. Even progress begins to feel invisible. Gratitude reverses this pattern. It shifts attention from scarcity to sufficiency, from frustration to awareness. That shift alone changes how you experience life. Gratitude also creates emotional stability. When you appreciate what you have, you stop being controlled by what you don't. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending pain doesn't exist. It means refusing to let difficulty define the entire story. Gratitude allows you to acknowledge struggle while still recognizing value, support, and growth in the present moment. When you practice gratitude, you become more receptive. A tense, resentful mind is closed. A thankful mind is open. Openness attracts learning, connection, and insight. People are drawn to those who appreciate rather than those who complain. Opportunities tend to flow toward environments where they are recognized and respected. Gratitude also deepens trust. When you are thankful even before outcomes change, you are expressing confidence that life is moving somewhere meaningful. That trust reduces anxiety and impatience. You stop demanding immediate answers and start noticing gradual improvement. This patience keeps you aligned during seasons when progress is happening quietly. The habit of gratitude reshapes identity. Instead of seeing yourself as someone waiting for something to happen, you begin to see yourself as someone already supported. This perspective strengthens resilience and endurance. You continue forward not because everything is perfect, but because you recognize that you are not empty. When gratitude becomes consistent, it alters how you speak, how you act, and how you interpret events. What once felt like delay starts to feel like timing. What once felt like loss starts to feel like redirection. And in that mindset, receiving becomes natural because your hands are already open.